Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with SBR contributor Jeff Grant, and today we're going to be looking at that college football game between the Auburn Tigers and Ole Mississippi Rebels. How you doing today, Jeff?
Absolutely fantastic, Dax, because this is one of the more exciting games to handicap in Week 10, and of course will be a major game that the College Football Committee will be watching as they announce their first set of rankings on Tuesday.
Yeah, man, and how about Auburn's offense? I mean, they've scored a touchdown in 42 of their last 46 quarters of play against SEC opponents. Now, that got me to thinking, could we actually see the Tigers continue to roll offensively against the Rebels this Saturday?
You have to think that they're going to hit that key number of 20, Dax, because going back to last season, only 4 teams in college football have scored 20 or more points in every game, and the Tigers are one of them. And why is that so impressive with Auburn? Because SEC football is known as a defensive brand of game. And if you watched Ole Miss last week, they were in a real tussle with LSU, of course, losing their first game of the 2014 campaign. So you have to think that Auburn will score 20 or more points in this game, given the fact that they've averaged 39.4 points during the Gus Malzahn era that started in 2013.
Yeah, man, and speaking about Ole Miss, I mean, they're leading the SEC by forcing 24 turnovers so far this season. Now, knowing this, man, how important is it for Ole Miss to actually win that turnover battle in this game?
It's imperative if they want to cover the number. Yes, it's a short number, but this is basically a field goal game in the odds makers' eyes, and I actually favored Ole Miss by just a half point. They have really benefited by the turnover margin. They do have, in my opinion, the best defense in college football, but that unit may be softened up after facing a ton of rush attempts against the likes of LSU. I mean, LSU battered them for 60 minutes and eventually broke through to pick up that 10-7 victory over Ole Miss last week. So they have to win that statistical matchup, and the fact that Bo Wallace, I don't know if he's going to be mentally able to get over what he did last week against LSU. He really was bothered by the crowd, and he wasn't really focused. So they'll definitely have to do it on the defensive end, but I'm just not sure they're going to be able to stop the Tigers.
So do you think Ole Miss can actually recoup and maybe consider us laying the point, taking the points on them?
You know what? I'm going to go with Auburn here. Like I said, I established Ole Miss as a half-point favorite. This is one of the key games that I looked at on Sunday afternoon extensively, and there's just too many things that I like. I like Auburn and Alabama still as the top 2 teams in the SEC. I realize that Mississippi State is the #1 team in the country, but they've been very fortunate in turnovers. If you look at the game that Auburn played at Starkville, it basically was decided in the opening 10 minutes of that game because Auburn was very sloppy with the football. But when you look at the Tigers' entire resume, +6 in turnover margin, they've outscored opponents by 64-28 in terms of off turnovers. While you look at Ole Miss, I'm not sure they're going to be able to put that loss behind them, and they've really jumped on opponents this season, outscoring them by a 62-3 margin in the first quarter, but I don't see that happening against Auburn. So I'm going to take the 3 points with Auburn against Ole Miss.
All right, good stuff, my man. As always, Jeff, it's a pleasure talking football with you, and I look forward to doing this again tomorrow.
Thank you.
No problem. And for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.